Okay, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. Listen.
Hands across the board.
Hands across the board.
Just saying you're a 10, admitting there's no room for improvement?
No, not at all.
Isn't the first step towards improvement admitting you're not perfect?
You're right.
Yeah, you're perfect.
We said we're 10.
Every girl is a 10.
I don't.
Every woman's a 10? Is every guy a 10?
Absolutely not.
10.
Fat fucking 10.
A fat fucking 10?
A couple of years ago, I used to be a girl who would always be very supportive of other women out there and who would always compliment them, praise them. I used to do this without any proper thought of like what I was doing. In comment sections, I used to compliment women saying they are very pretty, go girl, pop off, etc. All those, you know, phrases you hear, slay. Yep. I didn't know that I was inflating their egos. Now, this is a very controversial topic as a lot of modern day women do not necessarily like being negative to other women. But the purpose of this video is not to spread negativity. It is simply to make you aware of delusion and egos to help you improve the way you see yourself. So I used to see myself as a 10 out of 10 at times, even though I was probably a 4, so very unattractive. You know, I had a lot of confidence when I looked like this. Like, I wasn't trying to improve my attractiveness because I just thought, yeah, meh, I'm alright, like, I don't care. Like, I have a lot of confidence, so my looks don't matter. It's gonna get me far in life if I look like this. Like, yep, so I was pretty much just like that. When I was a bit younger, like, well, a lot of girls just do this. Like, it's their natural instinct to be positive to a lot of girls, to like compliment them all the time. But the thing is, girls grow up being praised and praising each other. And it is quite common, you know, like girls, that it doesn't feel natural to them to like face to face say something negative to that person. Whereas on the other hand, boys grow up like sort of being picked on and belittled by their mates. They get like honest criticism and feedback. Their mates will be like, you're small, you have no muscles or anything. And here's the thing. Most of the times girls praise each other and don't mean it, and boys belittle each other and don't mean it. And with girls growing up being praised, this inflates their ego. Therefore, they just felt like they've gotten a pat on the back, walked off being like, yes, I am a 10 out of 10. All my girlies are supporting me. They said they reckon I'm a stunner, everything. And yeah, so this is pretty much feeding onto their delusion. It's not, at the end of the day, it's not a big deal if they feel like confidence within themselves. But the deal is that their ego is inflated and they try and act like a 10, but in reality, they are a 4. So simply put, it is delusion. And confidence doesn't mean thinking you're a 10 when you're a 4. Confidence is knowing you're a 4, but it not bothering you. And what triggers me the most about these TikTok videos of being girls having this really high ego and them saying they're a 10 out of 10, it's them saying there is no room for improvement. There is always room for improvement. Always. Whether it has to do with your looks or personality, there will always be room for improvement. Unless you are the top 1%, which is only 1% of the world. So that's really, really hard to get into. So it's just in women's nature to support other women and say nice things and positive things about them. But it inflates their ego and it's giving them free validation. That's the thing. People would rather hear comforting lies than the harsh truth. And I understand that, you know, some women do hype other women up in an obscene way at times, but I guess they just use it to compensate for the negativity that they receive in the world. But like I said, you know, why tell them comforting lies? Like, if you're gonna say to like an overweight person, for example, yes, so beautiful, so healthy, why would you lie to them and, you know, say they're healthy and so fit and confident, when in reality, them living like that and being in that physical state and lifestyle, it's actually very unhealthy for them. That, you know, they're gonna die at a quicker rate as opposed to healthy people. And yous are just feeding onto their ego and making them more delusional into thinking they're actually attractive and healthy and, you know, a 10 out of 10. When you compliment an overweight person and say they are so healthy, goals, everything, why tell comforting lies? I think it's so much better to tell the harsh truth, because it would actually, you know, make them act. And that's what happened to me. People told me the harsh truth and I actually tried to do something to change it. You know, like, I'm always asking people to, when they compliment me, to not try and, you know, just try and make me flattered, but rather, you know, put a bit of criticism into that, because therefore I can, you know, work from there and improve myself. You know, it took me a lot of self-awareness to realize that I wasn't attractive. Say if you're watching this and you are pretty high on the scale, say you're about a 7 or an 8, and you think you're on a plateau of improving your physical attractiveness, I suggest you start improving the beauty on the inside, as that's very important. People can encounter you and you looking like an 8, and they meet your personality and it brings you down to a 4. Therefore, it is very important to work on your personality, as that can have drastic input on your rate overall, the way people rate you as a person. You could meet as a girl, you can meet a very high valued guy, like a very attractive guy, like a solid 8 who gets a lot of money, who has drive, but, you know, he might have a really cocky personality, and, you know, you just want to stay away from that. Like, you know, people can be good looking, but doesn't mean like they have the personality that you want to commit to. Because if they're spending all this time just only focusing on their physical looks, where's the time going for your internal personality? Where's the time going for your internal beliefs and your internal values and your spirit? It's important to make sure you have time to work on your spirit. So yeah, pretty much just women grow up being praised a lot, and you can see that in comment sections, like they're saying gorgeous, slay, stunner, goals, all that stuff. And I do understand that women, it's in their nature to be supportive and to be positive and all that stuff, whereas men, they like to tell the honest truth. They like to give criticism and good feedback. A lot of girls you come across will have an inflated ego, because the likelihood of them growing up being praised is very high. A lot of women do grow up being praised, because that's just the way girls grow up. Whereas sometimes people may think boys grow up being liked, belittled, like, man up, come on, you're a man, do this. Like, it's just how life works. So it's important to be aware of this as a girl, if you're a girl, that there's a very low chance that you're going to be a 10 out of 10. And I am not a 10 out of 10, because I have a lot of improvement to do. And even in my personality, I have a lot of improvement to do. And, you know, we're in this journey together, and you know what? We can improve together. I'll help you with that, and you can help me with that as well. Because you can support me with anything, because you know I want this channel to be a safe space for us to just like help each other improve. And so yeah, these women in these TikToks saying they're a 10 out of 10, it's delusion. Like, you know, sort of I believe that, you know, the media sort of brainwashes them to think that they're a 10 out of 10 because, yeah, I guess, you know, maybe they post something on Instagram and the comments is like feeding into their ego. Yeah, that happens. But for them to be that delusional to actually think they're a 10 out of 10, it tells us a lot. It does, because, you know, there's 10 out of 10 is like the top 1%. Like a proper 10 out of 10. I believe Angelina Jolie is like a pretty close to a 10 out of 10. Like, she's got that jawline, she's got like a really like womanly feminine face, and let alone a very mature and modest personality, and these girls think they're a 10 out of 10. So yeah, and yeah, it's all about confidence, but yeah, at the end of the day, just don't be negative to people, just rather like ignore it. Just ignore it and continue on with your day. But just what I hope you got out of this video is that you have a bit more awareness of like these sort of things, and like, you know, how like compliments feed into our ego and how like stuff like that. So yeah, pretty much at the end of the day, just note that you always have something to improve about yourself. There will always be improvement in your life. And as for me, I've learnt that along the way of my self-improvement journey, that I am always improving every single day. There is always room for improvement. I always try and work on my attractiveness every day by exercising, by eating healthy, by doing whatever I can to maintain my goals and even my personality. I'm still trying to become a better person every day, and it does take a lot of time and self-awareness, and you know, it doesn't happen just like a click. It does take a lot of time. It's baby steps. So don't get mad about yourself if you aren't happy with the way things are going in your life. You still got to have a bit of confidence in you, and you still got to keep pushing yourself day by day to get through it and to get better and to be better. If you haven't done anything today, make tomorrow better. So yeah, always strive for improvement. Never get complacent. Never settle for complacency. That is going to prevent you from progressing within anything. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the video. I know I didn't really speak about much, but I probably will in further videos, as I still am learning how to make videos. But yeah, I'll be asking for more suggestions if you do want anything else you want me to speak about. But yeah, thank you.